A continuación tenemos al concejal de Vincent, el señor Vincent Gentile.
¡Bravo!
And our next speaker is,
¡Bravo! 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 ¡Bravo!
I want to say something really quick. Councilmember Gentile was one of the first person that helped us to create the center, and without his help, we wouldn't be able to secure the space that now we're celebrating today. Welcome.
Here's the man! Here's the man!
Good morning to all. Buenos dias a todos y todas. Thank you so much for being here. Hola. And welcome to Bensonhurst. Bienvenidos a nuestra comunidad de Bensonhurst.
Wow!
Woo!
Wow! Bravo!
I want to thank Pedro and Javier and Ligia. Thank you so much. And, you know, I get to do a little bit of the history here because back in March of 2002, organizing history was made right here at this part in Bensonhurst, right at this site. The history we celebrate today created the first day laborer center in New York City.
Wow.
Organized and run first by Oscar Paredes and Javier Gallardo, who's still with us today, of the Latin American Day Laborers Project, and today by the Workers' Justice Project, and managed, as I said, by Javier and Ligia. And they've been doing a great job. It's known as the Bay Parkway Community Job Center here on the Promenade Bulkhead through thick and thin over the last 12 years. We celebrated that it was the first and has become one of the most established centers in New York City and has been the model for other job centers to follow across the city. But to be the first and to get to this point was clearly a challenge. A challenge met by an amazing partnership that included city agencies like the DOT, Community Board 11 and Community Board 10, the NYPD, and City Hall. And yours truly, then as the state senator and now as the council member, I partnered with determined immigrant workers and the loving and compassionate congregation of Bensonhurst New Utrecht Reformed Church. And of course, none of this would have been possible without the help and cooperation of the Cedars Bay Shopping Center that you see right across the way. So we thank them for their tremendous support as well. So many government agencies, local organizations, and community leaders have played their part, and in the end, we produced a work center that has truly improved the lives of countless immigrant workers who in turn have shown their appreciation by giving back to our community in many ways. In skilled, good labor, producing good craftsmanship, in giving back and assisting me in numerous community activities. And probably the most prominent of all, of how scores of workers volunteer their time, skill, and labor to help our local areas devastated by Hurricane Sandy. That is why for the last 12 years, I have always called this project a win-win for workers and for our local community. And it still is that today. So when Javier Gallardo and Oscar approached me back in 2002 and told me of their dream to have an organized and regulated day laborer site to protect these vulnerable immigrant workers, I knew I had to act. They told me of workers being picked up by contractors on street corners for day work and having to accept whatever rate of pay the contractor offered, and to feel lucky if in the end they actually got paid at all. They told me of the many stories of workers getting cheated on the agreed upon rate or being abandoned at the job site at the end of the day without getting any pay, and there was no recourse and nothing the worker could do about it. Nowhere to go, no proof of their work or their agreement, no way to track down a runaway contractor. How about the time several workers were picked up from a street corner in Bensonhurst and were taken to Queens, where they helped clean out an entire warehouse and load several trucks. But when they finished, they were abandoned on the streets of Queens. It was then that they realized that they indeed had just unwittingly participated in a burglary of the warehouse. That is somewhat of the workers were facing in 2002, in addition to having no health care or benefits, no safety training, nor any other benefit that might assist these hard and decent workers in achieving a better quality of life in their new country. And so the government, business, and clergy of Bensonhurst all sprang into action. When the workers wanted to use this city-owned space here at the end of Bay Parkway for their job center, I convened a meeting first with the local community boards and got their backing, and then with the mayor and the DOT commissioner and laid out our plan. to create a site that would protect workers by negotiating wages for them with contractors, tracking and recording information about the contractor and the workers they employ, and to create a fair and safe system for our hard-working immigrant day laborers. And to my happy astonishment, the new mayoral administration 12 years ago said yes and allowed us to use the DOT property that we are standing upon free of charge. And so I want to thank the Department of Transportation for honoring their commitment over these last 12 years. It really has been a good partnership. And then the wheels really started to roll. The compassionate people of Bensonhurst New Utrecht Reformed Church, led by Reverend Terry Troyer, who also runs a homeless assistance group on Staten Island called Project Hospitality, stepped forward and contributed mightily. Together with what is today the Workers' Justice Project, Reverend Troyer and the immigrant group successfully applied to the Brooklyn Independence Community Foundation and on several occasions received from them grants of $50,000 to support the operation of the Bay Parkway site. The foundation believed in this model job center, and they put up the funding, and we thank them for it. It's another example of the community coming together. So with the funding, Reverend Troyer, Javier Gallardo, and the group erected a large white tent that you'll see in some of the old pictures that we have up here. And although the tent has now been replaced by the trailer that we just toured behind us, having that large tent protected the day laborers waiting for work from the inclement weather, and also gave the job site center a much-needed visual presence in the community, and allowed all the types of supplemental programming like healthcare, ESL, and labor forums to take place. Moreover, in that first year, the workers met weekly at Reverend Troyer's church, and the church members organized, prepared, and delivered breakfast each day to the workers at the site. So I recognize and thank the Bensonhurst New Utrecht Dutch Reformed Church and their immeasurable love and compassion, their work, and their belief in this historic job site. They did a wonderful job. Too bad Terry couldn't be with us today. She's in Chicago, I believe, but she did want me to send her best. Yet it was clear to us that we could not be successful without the cooperation and participation of the local contractors. The issue of contractor cooperation was a challenge because for years the contractors, who now believe in the benefits of this job site, were used to picking up day laborers on the street corners, and they were very wary of the change. So in addition to the outreach we all of us did to explain to both the day laborers and to the contractors the benefits of a job site center, I engaged the help and cooperation of the NYPD in the 6-2 precinct, and once again received the support and encouragement of Community Board 11 and Community Board 10. And together we came up with a plan that in essence instituted a get tough policy on all street double parking and hydrant and bus stop blocking by contractors attempting to pick up day workers on street corners. This strict traffic enforcement policy by the NYPD was key in convincing any reluctant contractor to come and try out the Bay Parkway job site to hire their workers. And soon thereafter, the contractors became comfortable with the concept and found that they could get the type of skilled worker they were looking for far better guaranteed here than by the potluck hodgepodge of finding workers on street corners. But it was that key component, the NYPD participation on traffic enforcement, to help launch the success of this center. So I say kudos to the cooperation of the 6-2 precinct and our community boards. Again, the community coming together. They really did a great job. So all the pieces came together 12 years ago. We convinced contractors and day laborers that it was in their best interest to meet at the job center to find work or to find workers. And while the job site has had its ups and downs over the last 12 years, amazing things have happened here thanks to the Workers' Justice Project, an organization whose goal is to give low-wage immigrant workers a voice and protection in the labor workforce. They continue to staff the Bay Parkway job site here and negotiate on behalf of workers for fair wages and protect them from exploitation by extensive record-keeping of all the jobs assigned. And they have produced advancements for workers over the years. In 2002, for example, just this job site negotiated for the first 400 day laborers and saw their wages go from $8 to $12 an hour. And most recently, that $12 an hour went to $22.50 an hour in construction. That really is a great accomplishment. Moreover, the Workers' Justice Project has assisted over 1,000 workers to recover nearly $1 million in back wages through legal and direct action. So again, let's thank the Workers' Justice Project for all their efforts. In 2005, this job center again won a major city agreement to provide low-cost medical care to more than 3,000 workers. And then in 2006, this center secured the first mobile unit with the New York State Department of Labor to travel to other hiring sites and give information to workers about labor laws. In 2007, the Workers' Justice Project took a major new step here at the job center in increasing worker safety by training over 2,000 laborers in OSHA 10, scaffold, personal protective equipment, and chemical hazard protection. And I was pleased that some of that training was offered at my Democratic Club headquarters, so I was pleased to be able to provide that space also. An innovative safety liaison program was started here, empowering immigrant construction workers to serve as trained peer safety leaders. By 2009, this center, run by Workers' Justice, secured a groundbreaking agreement with the Labor International Union of North America, known as LIUNA, that created Local 10/55, one of the nation's first local unions committed to immigrant construction laborers. And we're pleased to have them side by side with us today. Really. And yes, they deserve a nice hand. And in the spirit of advancement and entrepreneurship, many laborers have started their own businesses that have started here. They've gone on to start their own businesses and companies of their own, including a group of women laborers who formed Apple Eco Cleaning, a house cleaning cooperative. Green home cleaning business is based on social responsibility, environmental justice, and collective ownership. And there is Gustavo Duarte, a day laborer and founding member of this job site, who's gone on to create his own M&G construction company and now has come back to hire workers from this center. And we see Gustavo a lot, so we thank him. And that is certainly a success. And most significantly, in the wake of Hurricane Sandy, the workers of this job site spent countless volunteer hours helping our surrounding communities like Coney Island, Seagate, the Rockaways, and Staten Island recover and rebuild from the devastation, and that effort continues today. Absolutely. And as for my community, every time I've asked the workers to help assist in my district, they've always responded with tremendous cooperation. It's been a great partnership we've had here with the Bay Parkway Community Job Center. I personally have met so many wonderful and interesting people, many with great backgrounds and training in various fields in their homeland, but now are here to work and pursue a piece of the American dream. So to my day laborer friends, let me say a few words in closing. And I hope this doesn't sound like Chinese. A pesar de las opiniones encontradas en la comunidad, como senador en ese tiempo, me paré en solidaridad con los trabajadores, sin dudar que era lo correcto. Junto con otros aliados que comparto valores tales como el respeto y la dignidad para todo ser humano. Aseguramos este espacio como algo temporal hasta conseguir un espacio permanente y más digno donde los trabajadores pueden capacitarse en construcción, tener clases de inglés, talleres de salud y seguridad, un trabajo con un salario digno y oportunidades de tener una mejor vida. Invertir en centros como de proyecto de justicia laboral es un compromiso para combatir la desigualdad y crear justicia y oportunidades para todos los trabajadores.
Yes. ¡Bravo!
You know, my speaker understands. So may this center continue to grow and thrive in the years to come, and may the city and our new city leadership continue to see the value in what is being done here. That is my hope and that is my dream. Thank you all for sharing this special celebration with us. And now it is my pleasure to introduce someone who has done so much in her career to protect and promote the benefits of immigrant workers and their contributions. I am so proud to call her my speaker, your speaker, the first Latina ever to be elected Speaker of the New York City Council. Ladies and gentlemen, City Council Speaker Melissa Mark de Barrito.